Young and Restless 3-week spoiler September 8th to 26th. Adam's fury erupts. Claire's outburst shocks Genoa City. On Monday, September 8th, Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, is blabbing to Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, about her Claire and Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, issues. Sally just wants Audra to relax and get ready for the Abbott.com launch party. Sally tells Audra that she needs to steer clear of Kyle and Claire because they are on the guest list. Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, rolls up on Audra after Sally leaves, and Audra starts going off about Claire. Holden tells her to knock it off and shut up about Claire. Audra laughs at Holden because he thinks he stands a chance with Claire. Holden then threatens Audra, saying he will tell her boss, Sally, about what they did in LA. He tells Audra to leave Claire and Kyle alone, or else he will spill the beans on how he cleaned up Audra's illegal mess. Holden vows that Audra will be done in Genoa City if he tells her big dirty secret. Sally vents to Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, about Audra as they're getting ready for the Abbott.com launch party on Monday. Sally is afraid Audra won't behave at the event. Billy thinks Audra is a problem, but Sally thinks she'll chill out. Billy loans Sally a Catherine Chancellor heirloom brooch for the event for good luck. Claire's dilemma. Kyle's proposal and Victor's secret deal on Young and the Restless. Across town, Claire tells Victor Newman, Eric Braden, she's upset that Kyle kissed Audra and that Audra has been taunting Claire. She's also confused by Kyle's proposal and wonders if Victor was right about Kyle all along. She's surprised when Victor tells Claire that Kyle passed his test and proved himself. Victor thinks Kyle loves Claire and tells her that Kyle even offered him a deal that really impressed Victor. It also impressed him that Kyle never told Claire about it, but Victor won't tell Claire what the deal is either. Of course, Victor's talking about that $5 million contract. So, he tells Claire to listen to her heart and go talk to Kyle. Young and the Restless. Kyle's apology and Victoria's concerns. Meanwhile, Kyle talks to Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, about overstepping in his efforts to expose Audra's scheme because Kyle never wanted to hurt Claire. Victoria advises him to give her daughter time. Kyle and Victoria are both worried about Audra lashing out now that she has nothing to lose. Victoria tells Kyle that his proposal to Claire came at the worst time. Kyle talks to Victoria about stopping Audra from making any more trouble for him and Claire. Victoria promises to check in on how Claire is feeling about Kyle. Then Claire shows up, and Kyle apologizes for pressuring her with the proposal. But Claire is tired of the secrets and demands to know what deal Kyle made with Victor. Victoria goes to talk to Victor about Claire and Kyle. She is shocked that her dad is actually supporting that couple. Victor agrees with Victoria that Audra is a huge problem that they all need gone. Young and the Restless spoilers. Holden's illegal secret revealed. On Tuesday, September 9th, tells Claire what he and Audra did in LA and says it wasn't strictly legal. Claire wants to know if Holden is trying to protect himself, Audra, or someone else. Holden is very worried that Claire won't see him the same way she does now if she finds out the truth about what happened. But Claire is going to keep pressing, and it looks like Holden is going to come clean next week. Then Kyle, Claire and Holden have a very tense run-in. Genoa City relationships and new threats. Also on Tuesday, Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, tells Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziade, she cannot wait to see Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian's reaction when Daniel plays his first song for his dad. Daniel tells Tessa that the lyrics and melodies she created are beautiful, just like her. Way to get his flirt on. Meanwhile, Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, makes a confession to Tessa, and we wonder if they are going to move from separation to divorce. Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, warns Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, what Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, is up to, and we think Nick is again going to tell Phyllis to cut bait and run, get away from Kane. But of course, she's not going to listen. Claire and Kyle struggle to see eye to eye. The question is, will Kyle spill about that contract with Victor or keep it in his pocket? We do think Claire may flip when she hears it, but we think it was made in all sincerity. Young and the Restless spoilers. Abbott.com launch sabotage and Kane's AI scheme. Wednesday, September 10th. Somebody ruins Billy and Sally's big launch night for Abbott.com. Looks like Kane because Sally and Billy arrive at Society expecting guests, decor, champagne, and music, and they only find Kane there. Sally is absolutely horrified, and Kane says he's glad they made it because he was starting to get worried. Phyllis grabs control of something, and Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, gets a cryptic message that worries him on Wednesday. We all know Kane is up to no good, and Victor's goal is to use Kane's AI software to ruin Jabot and Jack permanently. Abbott-Com aftermath and new alliances on YNR. On Thursday, September 11th, Billy has to answer to Jack, and it may be about the launch party going off the rails. Phyllis is busy pushing Sally's buttons, giving her advice she doesn't want or need. Again, this may be about the ruination of the Abbott-Com launch. Nick entrusts Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, with a secret. We're wondering if Nick is going to tell Sharon about the alliance that Victor is pressing to get with Kane and his super-duper AI to go after Jabot and Jack. Victor and Michael's unfinished business. On Friday, September 12th, Victor and Michael Baldwin, Christian Jules LeBlanc, are getting closure on unfinished business. We're sure this is about Michael quitting on Victor and considering this offer from Kane. Speaking of Kane, he gets somebody new in his corner. Maybe Sally, maybe Michael. Sally is facing an ethical issue, and it looks like something's going on with Abbott-Com, Kane, Jack, and Billy that makes her feel very uncomfortable as the new CEO. Young and the Restless spoilers. September 15th to 19th. Let's talk about September 15th through the 19th and beyond as we head into fall. Kane takes the next steps in his big plan. After gaining a new ally, Kane is ready to move forward. Michael considers the risky move of going to work for Kane, and of course, Victor wants him to spy while he is there. Sally is going to face personal and professional struggles. Of course, Kane is causing problems with Sally's business. Billy is making risky moves entangling with Chelsea Lawson-Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam's relationship, which could mess with Billy's relationship with Sally on Young and the Restless. Phyllis is pushing her limits, pushing Sally's buttons. She's in hot water with Kane and pushing Nick too. Also, we can't see Phyllis sitting back and doing nothing while Danny, Michael Damian, and Christine Williams, Laura Lee Bell, get married. So, Phyllis is just unhinged. We are going to have Michael hiding a secret from Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Bregman, this fall, and it may be that he's spying on Kane for Victor. Audra goes to Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, and begs for another chance. We'll see Billy meddling in Adam and Chelsea's relationship. City is thick with anticipation and simmering conflict as the 3 weeks spanning September 8th through the 26th unfold on The Young and the Restless. The period is set to be a maelstrom of Newman family drama, corporate sabotage, and relationship wreckage, with a spotlight intensely focused on the explosive reactions of both Adam Newman and Claire Grace Newman. Adam's trademark fury is poised to erupt over betrayal and meddling, while Claire's emotional outburst will shock a city still reeling from her recent dark past. Week 1, September 8th to 12th. Secrets, sabotage, and a shock proposal. The drama kicks off with the highly anticipated Abbott-Com launch party, a glamorous event that quickly devolves into a scene of corporate and personal intrigue. The primary friction point is Claire Grace Newman and her volatile romance with Kyle Abbott, which has been repeatedly targeted by the manipulative Audra Charles. Claire, already reeling from the revelation that Kyle kissed Audra, is further destabilized by Kyle's ill-timed marriage proposal. It's a move meant to solidify their bond, but to Claire, still fighting to trust her own judgment after her aunt's manipulation, it feels like pressure. Her confrontation with Kyle over the kiss is only the start. The real bombshell drops when Claire learns from her grandfather, Victor Newman, that Kyle had struck a mysterious multi-million-dollar deal with a mustache. Victor is surprisingly supportive of Kyle and Claire, praising Kyle for passing his test and keeping the deal a secret, which Victor interprets as a selfless act to protect Claire. However, for Claire, who values honesty above all else after her period of deception, it's just another devastating secret. She confronts Kyle, demanding to know the details of the contract, leading to a fiery showdown. This is the seed of Claire's eventual outburst. She is done with the secrets and the manipulations, even if they are allegedly for her own good. Meanwhile, Adam Newman is seething. His fury is likely tied to the continued corporate scheming involving his ex-lover Sally Spectra at Abbott-Com, and the relentless meddling by his father Victor, in every facet of his life, especially his fragile relationship with Chelsea Lawson-Newman. The Abbott-Com launch party is sabotaged, possibly by the mysterious Kane Ashby, and the fallout leaves Sally horrified and likely damages her new enterprise, fueling Adam's already volatile anger as he sees an opportunity to either gloat or step in. Adding to the complexity is Holden Novak, who threatens Audra by vowing to expose an illegal mess they covered up in L.A., an action that could destroy her career in Genoa City. Holden's protective stance over Claire only complicates matters, as Claire is determined to uncover the truth about Holden's past with Audra, something he is hesitant to reveal for fear of changing how she sees him. Week 2, September 15th to 19th. Adam's vengeance and Claire's dilemma deepens. The second week sees Adam Newman's fury officially erupt. The target is less clear but the impact is wide-ranging. It could be a retaliatory strike against Victor for his involvement in his relationships, or a furious effort to clear Chelsea's name or protect their son, Connor, from the ongoing Newman-Abbott corporate war. He puts Chelsea in a tough spot, possibly forcing her to choose sides or engage in one of their old morally gray schemes to gain an advantage. The return of Billy Abbott to his meddling ways, targeting Adam and Chelsea's tentative reconciliation, only serves to fan Adam's flames. Adam's explosive reaction is the culmination of feeling perpetually undervalued and controlled by his family. Claire's outburst moves closer as she continues to struggle with Kyle's secret deal and the growing interference from Holden. Her desperation to escape the pervasive Newman drama is palpable. Holden is finally cornered by Claire and likely confesses his illegal past with Audra, leaving Claire with a choice. Use this information to protect herself and Kyle from Audra, or keep the secret and maintain her moral high ground. This ethical dilemma pushes Claire to her breaking point. Kyle, meanwhile, is panicked over Holden's presence in Claire's life, fearing he is losing her. Victoria, for once, supports her father's assessment that Audra is a problem, but worries about the toll all this drama is taking on Claire. Corporate battles intensify as Kane Ashby continues his big plan, recruiting new allies and possibly tempting Michael Baldwin to spy for Victor. Sally faces a major ethical dilemma as the new CEO of Abbottcom, likely forcing her to choose between her company's survival and a clean conscience. Week 3, September 22nd to 26th. The fallout and a bold move. The final week sees the full fallout of the previous 2 weeks of high drama. Adam's angry actions reverberate, forcing Michael Baldwin to consider a risky move of spying for Victor on Kane, which could ruin Michael's own family. Billy is forced to plead his case to Sally after his alliance with Kane completely backfires, showcasing the widespread damage caused by the corporate feud. Claire's outburst shocks Genoa City. Exhausted by the secrets, the manipulation, and the pervasive drama, Claire takes a drastic, shocking step. She likely publicly calls out the constant scheming and control, perhaps exposing Audra's LA secret to clear Kyle, or turning her back on Kyle and the Newman family altogether. The biggest shock comes when Holden Novak, seeing her distress, extends an interesting invitation. A suggestion for Claire to move to LA to get away from the pressure cooker of Genoa City. This bold, perhaps impulsive move by Claire, to leave the Newman empire and all her family ties behind, is the culmination of her arc, stunning everyone, especially Kyle. The week ends with Victor contemplating an uneasy truce with Jack to combat the threat of Kane's AI, a shocking development in the long-running Newman-Abbott feud, indicating the scale of the external threat. With Jill Abbott returning to town to clean up the mess left by Billy and Kane, the stage is set for an explosive autumn where the lines between loyalty and self-preservation have been completely blurred. Adam's fury and Claire's desperate cry for freedom leave Genoa City forever changed.